Welcome to La Center Church in Focus. This is our weekly opportunity to introduce the themes that we're going to interact with on Sunday, as well as provide a little bit of enrichment for those that are in our growth group as they begin to think through some of the applications. So one of the things I really hate is I hate to see people move, especially moving out of town. And we've had a good group of people over the last several years that have moved out of town, and we have had relationship with them, and we miss them, and we miss all that they brought to the body of Christ. And then for whatever reason, God takes them elsewhere. And so we've had people move to Nebraska, to Montana, to Southern California, to Boise. I mean, you kind of know who I'm talking about. And I just don't enjoy that. It's always a joy when people move in to our community and move into our church and start contributing, but when they move out, that's frustrating. But what I've learned over the years of my ministry is that God puts his people where he wants them. Let me repeat that. God moves his people. He puts them where he wants them. And he is responsible to build his church. It's not my job. I partner with him in that, but he is ultimately responsible to build his church. So as we look at the book of Ruth this week, we're going to see that God had a plan. He had a plan for Naomi. He had a plan for Ruth. He had a plan for Boaz. And God is moving those chess pieces exactly where he wants them at the right time. So there was a crisis that developed in Bethlehem, and we see that in chapter 1 of the book of Ruth, and this crisis pushed Elimelech and Naomi and their family over to Moab. And as the family settled in there, the young boys grew up and they married wives, and one of the sons married Ruth. And then further crisis hit as Elimelech died, and later the two sons died as well, leaving three widows. They are broke and they are broken. They have nothing left after that. And so they hear rumors and hear the stories that God has revisited Bethlehem with an abundance of a harvest. And so they decide to pick up and they want to move back to Bethlehem. And so they move back and they come back to Bethlehem broken and broke with nothing in their hands. And fully trusting God to take care of their needs. So Ruth goes out and she begins to glean. And that basically is she's picking up the scraps that the reapers are leaving and trying to support her and Naomi from those scraps. And in God's perfect time, he directs Boaz and Ruth to make contact. And so this is a God-directed appointment, a God-directed encounter. And so what we glean from all of that is that God is at work in our world today. He is at work in our world today, and he is at work in our lives as well. And sometimes we don't see it. I'm sure that Ruth did not see all those pieces coming together, or Naomi. But God was at work in the midst of all of those crises and all of those moves. And he was causing his people to be where he wants them to be at the right time. So I want you to look back in your life and begin to look at your experience. And how is God working in your life over a period of time? How have you seen him move and bring things into your life that he wanted to further develop you and to further his kingdom? God is at work in our world today, and he directs the encounters of our life. We'll see you on Sunday.